Hey world, and welcome to the last wrap up of 2017, even though it's already 2018. But you know, time and stuff. So yeah, this is the kind of a little bit belated December 2017 wrap up. The last wrap up of the year. A whole year has passed. We're in 2018 now. Time's weird. I also still haven't figured out how to do wrap-ups and reviews in 2018. As I said in my 2018 plans Ricarda Wemble's video last week or the week before, something like that. I don't want to do these monthly wrap-ups like I did last year anymore. So I do quite like the way that Jesse the Reader does it with his recent reads, where he only talks about a few books every few months. Or for example with Books and Quills Summer, who has her Screens and Pixels, which I think is quite nice because it's not only books but also other things that she's recently really enjoyed. So maybe I'll do something like this. If you have any ideas or recommendations how to do it, then please let me know. I'm still looking for a way to do it. But yeah, first of all, let's talk about the stuff I saw and watched and read in December. So first of all, of course, there was the Human Rights Readathon that I did in December, which was a readathon I created, and it was really fun. And yeah, it was a really cool experience, and for that I read 3 books. The first one was Felix, Holt by George Eliot, which I don't have with me. I got it from the library at university. But yeah, I had to read it for university, but it was also a really nice experience. I love George Eliot. I have a whole seminar on her this semester, and it's just really fascinating. She's a fascinating woman. Her writing style is amazing. I love her stories and the way she portrays characters from different point of views. And Felix Holt, even though it is quite political in the sense that I didn't understand everything that was going on, it was still really emotional as well. There was a lot of relationships going on between different characters and different forms of relationships. And the other 2 books that I read were Lovecraft Country by Ruff, which is really heavy, but also quite interesting. It is about a black family in the still really racist America, where they have to face all the things that were day-to-day life and sadly still are for some people. So that part is really heavy and really, just hurts to read. But also with the gothic side of it, there is magic. I would definitely recommend it, and I think I have to pick up something else by Ruff because the writing style is just really different in a way that it creates characters that I could imagine actually being people. They are so three-dimensional and have so many little details about them, so really would recommend that. And the last book I read for the Human Rights Readathon was Neringa by Stefan, which was a German book, and I got this one at the Frankfurt Book Fair, so I honestly didn't know what I was getting myself into. I only knew that it touches on the World War II in Germany and how the generations afterwards perceive that and live with that. And it did talk about that for half the story or the plot, but the other half was what kind of shocked me. And that's also the critique I have with this, because I would have liked to have some trigger warnings for depression, self-harm, self-hatred, because those are things that are heavily discussed in this. And though the portrayal of them was, in my opinion, really honest and beautifully written in a really sad way, I would have liked to know that that was happening. The information to all those books and also the playlist for my Human Rights Readathon down below, so you can check all those out. Then I also read 2 comics, which were both the 4th part in the series, so I can't talk much about the plot. The first one was Spider-Man 2099, which is Spider-Man from the future coming to our time and trying to save his future time from our time through portals and stuff. It's really amazing, it's so good. I'm honestly not much of a Spider-Man fan, but this is just so well done, it's so well performed. The timelines are really well structured, and you understand where you are and you understand how they intertwine, which I think is often quite difficult to do. So I really enjoy that. The X-Men, the 4th part. This is the story of the X-Men after Xavier has completely, finally, really died, which probably won't happen for a long time, and now Storm is the leader of them, and it's also set during the time of the Inhumans, who kind of have a war going on. So the X-Men have to kind of flee from the Inhumans in a way and create this place called X-Heaven, which they then have to defend. The characters are really, really well done. The illustrations, again, are completely gorgeous, and this was the final one. I'm not quite sure what I think about the ending. I think there's more coming in a different comic series, but still really, really enjoyed this. And then the last book I read in December 2017 was Honestly Banned by Bill Konigsberg, which is the second part to Openly Straight, which is one of my favorite books of all time. I love this book so much. It has such a special place in my heart, and I've been waiting for this for forever, and I was honestly really scared. Like, I was waiting for it and I wanted to read it, but there was just a lot to live up to with this one, and it did. It managed to do that. I will say that, like, this surprise of loving it so much that I have with Openly Straight, like this surprise at how amazing it is and just how brilliantly done it is, that wasn't quite there because I already knew that that was what I was expecting, but it still totally managed. It was just, Bill Konigsberg has this way of writing exactly what I think, as if he were, you know, like in Harry Potter where Dumbledore takes his wand and just takes out the string of thoughts. It's like Bill Konigsberg does that and then just puts it in a book, and it's just so brilliant, and I love it, and I read it in one night straight. I got it for Christmas, and I sat down that evening and I just wanted to, you know, like take a glimpse, just see, and then it was 6 AM and I was done, and I was so done. It's just wonderful and such a great second part, and I'm so happy that I like it, and I can't wait to reread it, and now we read both of them. And if you haven't read any of those yet, please do. They are amazing in their portrayal of diversity and thinking about whether diversity is represented well and why you have to fit in, and why if you don't fit in you still have to like take on a label, and whether labels actually represent people. And it's just so brilliantly done in such a not simple writing style, but in a writing style that just really agrees with my thoughts. So yeah, just I love these books so much. And of course there also was some TV experience during December, but before I talk about that, I just want to talk about this. Taylor Swift got new music, and Taylor, I love Taylor. I am a bit unsure about Reputation. I'm not quite sure whether I like this new style of hers. I'm not quite sure whether I like this, yeah, pop rap kind of thing. She does rap quite well. I was really surprised by that. She does rap quite well. All that aside, the lyrics are still amazing. It's like, even though everyone says it's like new Taylor and we want old Taylor back, it's still old Taylor writing the lyrics. There's so many metaphors and images and yeah, word schemes and stuff like that that she already used before, and that she just still uses, and that still speaks to me, and that still comes through in this album. So I don't think old Taylor's dead. She just sings differently now, but the lyrics are still the same. And I'm also writing poetry on this, kind of. Like, I take my favorite line out of each song and then write a poem on that line, which will be on my Twitter and Tumblr, so those are linked below if you want to check that out. Films and TV shows. First of all, I watched Lion, which is this film about an Indian guy who gets lost as a little child and doesn't find his way back anymore, and is then adopted by, I think, a British family, I'm not quite sure. And once he's older, I think he's in his 20s or something, he finally tries to go back home. And it's just this journey of him, and this journey of him getting lost, being found, finding his way back. And the imagery in this film, just the cinematography was brilliant. I will say that about like the first half of it was in Hindi, only with subtitles, and I do understand why they did that, and it was interesting to hear it, and you still understand the story, but it would have been nice to kind of, yeah, have it translated, just to have an opportunity to focus more on the story and less on reading the subtitles. But apart from that, the actors were amazing. It was such a heartwarming story. It's also a true story. Then I saw a film with Amanda Seyfried, who I adore and who is just so wonderful in every role she plays. And I think the English title is Her Last Words or something like that. I'm gonna leave a link to the trailer down below as per usual. Basically it's about this woman who is, yeah, quite old, and she, yeah, asked this young journalist, played by Amanda Seyfried, to write her death announcement for the paper whilst she's still alive, because she's a control freak and wants to know what's written. And then realizes, or the journalist realized, that there's nothing nice to write about her, so they try to make her last moments on Earth nice enough to write about them in a good way. And it's, of course, it's emotional and cute, and it gets like really, really sweet, and she becomes a wonderful person. I don't think any of that spoilers, but the actors are just amazing. It was such a sweet film. It was so interesting to see how those two lives influence each other, because I think that's a really realistic portrayal of how much effect we have on other people's lives. And it was also quite funny to see this main character, this old woman, who never really tried to be nice, then tried to be nice. It was just, it was really funny in a heartwarming way. And then I also saw a Thai series, which is called 2 Moons, and it's basically just hella gay. It's about this guy who goes to, I think, university or college or something like that, and his crush from high school, middle school, whatever, is also there, and whilst they are getting closer, their friends are also getting closer, and they're just all really, really gay, and it's just so adorable. And there's loads of those like small moments where you realize they like each other, but they don't say it, but they could, and it's just so sweet. And it was also really, really cringy, because it does also portray all those real moments we've all experienced, where like someone says, oh yeah, you're the guy he's in love with, right? And you're like, no, don't say that. And like all those really, really cringy moments you have when you start flirting with someone. It's just like really, really cheesy, but in the best way possible. And with that, it's the last wrap up on this channel for a while, I guess. Maybe somehow. Please let me know if you have any ideas what to do in the future. Anyways, I hope you always have a reason to smile, and I shall see you soon. Bye!